Hello, my name is Paul and welcome to this laptop security training for employees. In this course I cover 6 sections of laptop security including general security risks, hard drive encryption, passwords, Wi-Fi security, general good practices and webcam security. I hope by the end of this training you'll be aware of the most common risks and take steps to secure your device in the workplace and in the home. But before we start, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and consider liking the video if you find it useful. From a security standpoint, laptops will always be of particular concern to businesses and employees because of their mobility and storage capabilities. Given their portability and the fact that they can often hold terabytes of data makes them vulnerable to loss or theft and hacking through channels such as public Wi-Fi attacks. Laptop loss and theft is one of the leading causes of data breaches, which are often reported in the news alongside a company name affected by the loss. This can lead to a loss of public trust in the company and fines if it's deemed that the laptop was not properly protected through technology such as encryption, which we'll look at. Over 600,000 laptops are reported lost or stolen in US airports alone every year, with millions more going missing in coffee shops, libraries, public transport and personal vehicles. Fortunately, there are some ways to prevent device theft and help recover devices if they are gone. The best method to physically secure your laptop is through the use of a Kensington style lock to tether laptops to fixed objects for short periods of time when away from your workspace. Most laptops have a Kensington slot or K-slot as it's known, for which security cables can be used to attach to. This provides a good level of physical security. The next piece of advice is to ensure your laptop is identifiable with security asset tags. The best ones to use are RFID capable ones, which can be active or passive type depending on your budget. You may also use the more common tamper-resistant polyester tag, which are cheapest but are also effective, particularly when authorities are looking to return lost and stolen laptops. Laptops should not be left visible and unattended on car seats or parcel racks and should instead be placed in the boot out of view. Thieves regularly try doors and smash side windows in order to grab laptops as a form of opportunistic theft. In some cases, it may even be more than opportunistic theft in that cybercriminals may target theft of devices from particular individuals or companies that they plan to steal data from. This can occur in company parking lots and assigned parking spaces, which employees need to be aware of. For extra security, Windows users should set up facial recognition through the Windows Hello feature. The system will conduct a biometric scan which captures your face's unique geometry, like the distance between your eyes, nose and mouth, and then create a template for future logins, which is highly secure. If this feature isn't available, then consider using hardware keys or devices fitted with fingerprint readers. These systems are much more robust than using a password on its own, as passwords are becoming easier to crack with quantum-powered computing power and tools. Drive encryption is perhaps the most important security setting which should be enabled on work and personal laptop drives. It prevents data on your drive and its contents from being read if your device falls into the wrong hands. Drive encryption is required by many industry regulations and standards as a method for protecting personal, health and financial data, particularly when there are thousands of customer records or personal records involved. There are many hardware and software methods for encrypting drives on the market, including chip-based self-encrypting drives and native operating system solutions like Windows BitLocker and Mac File Vault. The main benefit of drive encryption is the high degree of difficulty in accessing data on a drive without proper credentials. Most encryption algorithms use AES-256 encryption, which is still an unbreakable standard where hackers are unable to crack today. Hardware encryption is preferred over software methods as its performance is superior to software and less CPU intensive. If you're setting up encryption for the first time, it's critical to perform a full backup of your data before initiating the process and backing up your encryption keys in a secure vault or in a password manager in case you lose access to your encrypted data. If you lose your passphrase and backup key, you will lose access to all your data. Choosing a strong password is one of the most important methods of keeping hackers out of your devices and online accounts. Studies have shown that 58% of passwords are crackable in an hour with common hacking tools like John the Ripper, combined with the power of cloud computing. This means that you need to use stronger and longer passwords, which are not so easy to defeat with common attack methods. Experts recommend that passwords need to be at least 16 characters in length now, with password complexity involving a combination of upper and lower case characters, numbers, and non-alphanumeric characters. Experts also recommend using passphrases using unrelated word combinations, such as these three-word character examples: water, locomotive, hurry, or then another one would be creech, trees, higher, which are long but easier to remember than one long string of unpronounceable letters with complex characters. The next thing to be mindful of is avoiding certain practices with passwords. This includes things like not reusing your laptop login password across your other online accounts. This is a common mistake by users out there, where some estimates place the amount of password reuse by 78% of the user population, which is quite astonishing. The problem here is that if one of your online personal accounts is hacked in a data breach, you may be opening the door for hackers to try your work laptop password and other accounts and then log in successfully. The next things to avoid are using similar passwords when changing your password and using personal details, number sequences, and terms like pass123, login, security, and let me in as part of your password composition strategy. Hackers will often use your personal information and common password terms as part of their hacking strategy when trying to break into machines, so it pays to be aware of the risks and take the extra steps to be mindful of complex passwords. Now let's test your knowledge real quickly. So this question is, which password is stronger? The answer is C, as it's a passphrase, which is actually, in this case, 18 characters long when you include the spaces. The others are shorter than 16 characters and use terms like password and names and place names in the composition. Wi-Fi connectivity is another major risk for laptop users, as it may present an opportunity for nearby hackers to get onto your system and steal your personal data. So here are a few guidelines to help you secure your Wi-Fi on your laptop. Number one would be never to connect to public Wi-Fi networks as found in coffee shops, libraries, airports, etc., as hackers can listen into Wi-Fi traffic and potentially any data you send or receive. Be also careful of Wi-Fi networks with no security setting, as they can often be set up by attackers in order to bait you into connecting to an open Wi-Fi network and stealing your data. Next, use trusted private Wi-Fi networks with strong passwords and encryption standards like WPA-3. Ensure these passwords are not default ones, such as ones found on the outside label of a broadband router. You do need to change default passwords on any broadband routers that you use in the home, as hackers can easily find default passwords on the internet on dark web lists. Next, use authorized VPN software when connecting over the internet into your work-based systems and when working with confidential data. Then, for home router configuration, ensure that your SSID number is hidden and that you enable MAC address filtering which only allows authorized devices to connect into your broadband router. And then finally, ensure your laptop Wi-Fi software is kept up to date to regular operating system patching. So let's focus here on some laptop good practices. It's not a good idea to have multiple users using your work laptop, as the device inevitably becomes more vulnerable to compromise. It's not uncommon that other family members may use your laptop for non-work related activities like downloading games and free software, which could introduce malware to your device, leading to data loss, identity theft, and other highly impactful issues. It's often said by experts that good security is only as effective with good maintenance processes and user vigilance. So it's important to apply security software updates, browser and desktop application updates as soon as prompted to do so on your desktop. While it's often inconvenient to reboot computers and browsers, ignoring these prompts or bypassing updates can lead to exposure to new malware threats like ransomware and keyloggers, which arise all the time. Another good practice, of course, is to have a good dated backup strategy, which is really your primary defense against instances of system failure or cyber attack. Best practice calls for a local and a cloud-based backup schedule for data on your laptop. Local backups can be facilitated through a mirrored drive or a directly connected external drive. Cloud-based backup offerings are provided by several vendors which offer one-touch data restore options. A good approach to backups is to set automatic weekly full backups with daily incremental backups on local and cloud storage locations. As another matter of good practice, secure deletion of data can be a concern when frequently looking to delete sensitive and confidential documents on your drive. Normal recycle bin operations do not fully delete files, which is why there are specialist programs which can fulfill this task, like using programs like Eraser, File Shredder, or Free Eraser for Windows, and then the secure empty trash method for Mac. These programs effectively wipe the data by overwriting it as opposed to just deleting a file name in the file system. It's also important to remember that laptop drives and removable drives must be securely disposed of when they are being retired out of use. They should not be disposed of by simply placing them in normal bins. Instead, several solutions such as drive degaussing, drive shredding should be employed either by you or by a contracted company. Webcams are also a common target for hackers who have been known to remotely enable integrated cameras and USB-connected cameras on laptops for the purposes of spying, even blackmailing, eavesdropping, and taking pictures for the purposes of identity theft later on. Hackers commonly use remote access Trojan malware, RAT malware, like Dark Comet and Venom Rat to facilitate their activities. This malware regularly gets installed via phishing emails and from infected file downloads from the web, and may also include other nefarious functionalities such as keystroke monitoring to track passwords and other confidential data being entered on your keyboard. Many personal laptop webcam feeds have also appeared on internet search engines like Shodan, which regularly scans internet-connected devices for open video streaming ports such as your webcam. So you'll probably see by now that there is a real risk related to laptop cameras. So what can you do to protect your camera? Well, the type of solution for restricting webcam capabilities may depend on your level of usage. If you use the webcam infrequently, then disabling it in the UEFI boot settings or in your device manager may work. You may also consider unplugging any USB-based webcam and only plugging it in as needed. For more casual webcam disabling, consider placing tape over the camera when not in use. This is something that Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg does all the time, as does a former FBI director. This may sound odd, but these individuals are very aware of the real risks from webcams. So here's our final question. Which one of these is bad practice when securing your Wi-Fi? The answer is C, using your router default password. You should always change your default password, which is usually found on a sticker on your broadband router. The other items here on the list, changing your SSID, creating router MAC filters, and avoiding public Wi-Fi, are always a good idea when you're using your device. So this brings us to the end of the training here. This is the risk recap section where you can pause and look through each of these items. And then as we move on to the next slide, we have a reference slide, which is some useful tips for you if you want to do some further research on password security or some of the other items we covered in these topics today. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and then click on the subscribe button for future free course information on our channel. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.